What if the way you've been telling your life story reveals the secret to what is holding you back? Stories play an integral part in how we see not only ourselves, but the whole world. Stories are more than just an important part of communication. They also reveal hidden aspects of our inner talk, which can either support us or end up holding us back from the very things we want most in life, without us even realizing it. Join author, mindset coach, and award-winning singer-songwriter Carrie Rowan on her show, Look for the Good, every Monday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. when she shares nuggets of wisdom from her internationally best-selling book, Tell a New Story, 5 Simple Steps to Release Your Negative Stories and Bring Joy to Your Life. Carrie's powerful stories and compelling guests will empower you to change how you look at your own life while giving you some powerful tools and tips you can use every day to help you feel better and move yourself closer to the life you've been longing to live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Look for the Good. I'm your host, Carrie Rowan, mindset strategist and coach, and I love sharing nuggets of wisdom about the stories we tell ourselves and each other. But it's the stories that we tell ourselves that are really, really important to pay attention to. Join me and my special guests as we share our personal stories of strength and triumph every week on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. You can listen online on your mobile device, in your car, or ask Alexa to play Dream Vision 7 Radio. You can tune in every Monday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time to get real stories and real tips on how to turn your story and your life around and evolve with us as we unite humankind with universal love. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here today on this lovely fall day. I have a really, really wonderful episode. And before I introduce her, we're just going to say hi to Marie in the wings. Hello, Marie.
Hello, Carrie.
And we, as we always do, we talk about those stories, right? Those little stories that run around in our head. And it really doesn't matter what the topic is because we always have a story about each topic in our life, right? And I love to dig into those stories and find out, hey, what is that story that I'm telling that's keeping me stuck? Maybe it's a hell story. Maybe it's just a limiting belief that you had that was handed to you so long ago, but somehow we still think it's important to remind ourselves of that negative story. So we're going to dive into some great stuff here today. And I love the work that Marie is doing. And before we get started, I just want to have a little word from our sponsor here. Do you want to feel more resilient? Have you heard that reducing inflammation is important to health and longevity? Taproot Herbal Company has just what you need to help you on your quest for better health. They offer tinctures, tea, soothing facial creams, and botanicals to bring you balance and well-being. You got to go try the best-selling chaga facial cream and adaptogen tinctures. So run over to Marie's website at taprootherbals.com. That's Taproot Herbals with an S.com, and sign up for her blog to get the latest updates so you can learn about the herbal pathways to your better health. Again, go visit taprootherbals.com, TAPROOT herbals.com. We love to spell things here, Marie, because it's radio. And sometimes people aren't really sure, but it's also going to be video. So if you're watching the video, you can always go find that and jump on that now. You can always go to the show notes on Dream Vision 7 Radio. I'm going to look for the good page. And we're so excited to have you here, Marie. And as we were laughing about before, you called yourself the plant therapist. And I just love that. We're going to dive into that in a second. Would you mind if I read your bio?
No, go ahead. That's
Sometimes people feel funny, but it's cool when somebody else reads your bio for you. So you can just sit back and relax. So Marie Frohlich is a certified holistic health coach and herbalist, and she's a lead formulator and founder of Taproot Herbals. Her byline is, I love this, co-creating health from the heart. Her passion is offering the magic and message of herbal care and holistic seasonal support to build resilience, balance energy, and reduce stress. She introduces simple tonic teas and tinctures and botanical creations to her clients. Her online shop at she also goes to wellness events too, by the way, like the Natural Living Expo coming up in November. We're going to talk a little bit about that more. Marie's the co-author of Adaptogens, Our Plant Partners for Peace in Changing Times, full of hand-drawn art renderings of specific adaptogen plants and recipes to try them. Well, Marie, that's a pretty impressive bio, and thank you so much for being here on the show today.
It's great to be here, Carrie. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about what it means to be a plant therapist, because I just love that catchphrase.
Oh, I know. I don't know what it means to be a plant therapist. I think it is somebody who wants to help you connect to plants in your life and understand the amazing benefits, medicinal and otherwise. Um, you can be your own plant therapist just walking in the woods because
Mm.
you're that's proven to raise our endorphins and make us feel more relaxed. Just the what is it? The essential oils that are released when you're walking in the forest from the
Mm.
trees calms our soul, and we just need to do it more. We need to find a way to be more in relationship with our landscape and understand what plant therapy could be for us. So, as a plant therapist, I like to inspire folks to understand what's in their own landscape and how it can help them in different ways, whether it's a garden or the trees that are growing in their backyard, or even some weeds that are weedy wonders full of magic for nutrition.
Ooh,
So
I
it's a lot
love
of
that.
fun.
I
A lot of
love
fun.
that. And you make it fun. And you know what the irony is? It's like we're getting back to our roots, pun intended, right? We're getting back to the things that we always used to do naturally. That's what we did. That's what our ancestors and our ancestors did is they just went outside. You've got something that's bothering you or a cut, go outside and get the right plant, right? And put it on there. And so it's all available and a lot of the natural health remedies are just that. They're just plants. And so I love that you're teaching people how to, kind of go back to the roots, to our origins of who we are as human
Yeah,
beings.
just even finding a one plant ally that you resonate with. Sometimes it's just the shape of a plant you're attracted to, or it's the smell of a flower, or a taste of a tea that makes you want to know more about that plant that gave you that delicious tea. And so you start with one plant, and it can take a year with that one plant, and it gives you everything you need as a plant therapist yourself to feel the connection with the root, the stem, the leaf, the flower. They all bring you something, and it's a connection we've lost. So yeah.
Big time. I really like to explore that because I think we've lost that connection, especially the younger generation. I mean, you and I probably grew up outside in our backyards. I knew everything about every rock, plant, where all the lady slippers were, right? Like it just reminds me like that's what we did as kids. We had this big pond and we had these big slippery frogs and we'd go back there and I loved catching the frogs with all the boys in the neighborhood. Um, and it was just part of our life. My kids don't even know where our backyard is. That's not true. They do because the swing set used to be out there when they were younger, right? But that was the only reason that they went out there, unless I was dragging them out for a walk or something. But it's true. We need to unplug. We need to go back. That whole earth thing, being grounded. We get that from Mother Earth, walking outside in our bare feet. Like you said, walking through, and as we're crunching the leaves and the plants, these beautiful aromas, we don't even realize the mystery of all the cool things happening around us.
It's critical. I totally agree. If I don't get outside every day in some way or another, I feel it. I feel deprived. I just recently lost my 14-year-old beautiful Plato dog. And
Aw.
if you have a dog is grounding because they're touching the ground. So you're petting a dog, you're getting grounded. And
Mm.
I thought of him as like my partner in this reality. And he counted on me for so much. And it kept me accountable to getting outside in the woods because it meant so much to him as well. So, get a dog if you haven't been outside in a while.
I love that tip. That is a great tip. And depending on the dog you get, my dog walks me because he is got to be the alpha. He thinks he owns me and he will literally pull me up the big hill. So it could be easier for you walking if you get a dog because they could pull you up the hills. And it
Yeah, they're
is.
great partners, great
Yeah.
partners.
I love that. I never heard it explained just the way you said where petting a dog is grounding and why. Because of course they're connected to the earth. They're always laying on the ground. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
they say if you hug your mother and pet a dog, you're getting grounded because your mother, held you in her womb and was very grounded with you at one time. And apparently that connection helps as well.
I love that. That's really, really beautiful. So it's really spending that time outside. And so do you grow a lot of this stuff yourself?
I
Um,
do. I do. I grow a good deal of it. I probably love that more than anything. Talk about plant therapy. Just therapy in itself is working in a garden for me. Just every day there's something new to discover or take care of. You start, feeling attached to certain plants in a way that you never knew you could.
mhm.
So there's the culinary herbs that lots of people like to grow to bring in the winter, which I do a lot of, and dry and powder and put in my spice jars. And then there's the ones I use in my apothecary, which you know, are great to have, especially for the teas. Actually, as I've gotten older, I've moved more towards looking at teas and tonics as medicine instead of taking a lot of tinctures, um, which is another way to help you connect to plants in an easy way without alcohol, right? So
Mhm.
making oxymels with vinegar and honey with plants and tonics. Tonic is not a tea, it's a medicinal beverage that you brew for like 4 to 8 hours. So you're taking whatever leaf medicine you want, putting it in a ball jar to like 1/5 of the ball jar, covering it with hot water, boiling water at night, capping it, letting it. That's what I do. I just let it sit all night and then strain it in the morning, and it becomes my daily beverage, depending on the season and what works best for me at that time. So it's a great way to get greens into your blood.
Mm.
You're not eating a lot of, dark leafy greens. So nettle's a big one that I do as a tonic and highly recommend for building your minerals that we also don't get enough of in our lives.
Mhm. Yes, the soil is not as good and not providing us the minerals that we used to get from the soil.
Right.
So,
That's right.
oh,
Yeah.
that's powerful. You knew I was going to ask you what your favorites were.
Well, the other favorite recently, just because of the general anxiety and stress we're all dealing with post-pandemic and trying to readapt to what works and what doesn't. Our finance situation, all of us like in shock, sticker shock at the grocery store.
Yeah.
These are stressors that we have to look at. How do we, keep that in a bubble up there and not let it work too deeply into our cellular structure and have stress affect our immune system, which it does. And so
Mhm.
I like what's called it's a milky oats. I don't know if your listeners know much about milky oats, but it's something I grow every year, and it's when the seeds of the milky oat get to a milky stage, you harvest and dry them, and it's that milky substance that's very calming to the nervous system. And
Ooh.
so you dry it and you make teas from that. I also use the straw, the oat straw that grows up. I find that to be very nourishing. This is incredibly nourishing tonic, made the same way as you'd make nettles, and very calming to the entire system and nourishing to your nervous system. So um,
Ooh.
I've been taking a lot of that lately. You
Yeah,
can
we
add a
all
little
need that.
peppermint. You can always add honey to these. You can make them flavorful for yourself the way you like, but it's good to understand that base that you're using and how it affects your body. And these are
Mhm.
things I don't recommend taking, all the time. I usually will do one for a week and
Mhm.
then I'll back off.
That is